Mini Ice Podcast is pleased to be joined by a member of the Iowa Wild and Wild prospect winger Adam Beckman. Adam, thank you so much for joining us. How's it going?
I'm doing well. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely, man. So glad to see that you're adjusting well in the AHL, it seems. But let's just first start things off with a little bit of just background. What's your story? Where are you from? And how has that background helped shape you?
That's a good question. I'm from Saskatoon, Saskatchewan in Canada. I have an older brother and older sister. Kind of grew up playing hockey. They played hockey as well. They didn't really go too far with it, but I just kind of grew up with them and play a lot of hockey. And I think it's my entire childhood that's kind of shaped who I am. I think, a lot of my morals come from my parents, and that's about it.
Is it a simple life out there in Saskatoon?
Big time simple life.
Love that. We'll tap into that a little bit later. Seth, go for it.
So you obviously had the chance to be drafted by the Wilds, which was, I'm sure, the thrill of a lifetime. Obviously, what you were working towards. Just talk a little bit about kind of the whole draft experience and what it was like to have the Wild select you.
Yeah, the experience was really cool. I think getting to go was something that I will kind of remember and cherish forever. I think just the roller coaster of emotions, just with the way everything went, not hearing your name called and then finally hearing your name called. It was a crazy experience. And then obviously being selected by the Wild is another honor. And, it was by far the most exciting days I had up to that point.
Yeah, so this just kind of came up right now, actually, as you were talking. So you were actually drafted by a previous GM. Is that any different at all, or do you have a pretty good relationship with Bill?
I don't think it plays too much into it. I think just obviously, like you said, I was drafted by a different general manager, but he was only there for a couple months in my tenure. So I think from the start of my time with the Wild, Bill Guerin was the general manager. So just kind of moving forward with that.
Awesome. So you came off of a pretty good first season for Spokane a couple years ago, and then it just blew up last year. Was there anything different that you did in that offseason leading up to that ascension to superstardom last year in the WHL, or was it just a pretty normal offseason for you?
Thank you. No, I think just opportunity was a big thing, just kind of getting that extra opportunity, maybe a little bit more power play time, play a little bit more minutes really helped me. I think the coaching staff did a really good job of helping develop me and letting me be confident. I think, my teammates continued to help me and be confident. I think it just kind of came together. Like I said, opportunity is probably the biggest thing, I think.
Of course, the Wild have a pretty notable alum of Spokane, Jared Spurgeon. Did you notice his legacy well cemented during your time there? And as kind of a follow up to that, how exciting is it at the fact that you could, a little bit down the road, actually be able to play with them?
Yeah, it's definitely pretty cool. Obviously, Jared Spurgeon's, such a iconic figure in Spokane. I think. Especially just the management group and a lot of people that had been with him for a while, the ownership, they just talk about him being, like the highest class person you've ever met. Just a great person in every way. Obviously a really good hockey player too. So it's definitely exciting to think that, maybe someday we could play together. For
sure. So you're in a unique spot, right? Normally, in normal circumstances, you wouldn't be able to play in the AHL as an underager. What's that kind of life been like? And have you learned anything from the old wily vets like Cody McLeod or anything like that?
Oh, absolutely. I think, the experience is awesome. I'm very fortunate to be here. I think, a lot of guys back home that I play with don't have the opportunity to play right now. So being here and getting to learn from guys like you mentioned, Cody McLeod or Gabriel Dumont, or, all the veterans, they teach so much, and it's cool to be around these guys and just see how they approach the game. It's been a ton of fun, and I'm really thankful that I've had the opportunity to do so.
Just one question that I have, Adam. Obviously, the season for Iowa has been a little odd, I'm sure, with the amount of players that are getting called up to help assist the Wild at the taxi squad level. Just how crazy has it been having guys, that are on the roster one day, then they get called up, they maybe come back? How crazy has it been so far?
Yeah, it's definitely been crazy. I think, obviously there's a lot of moving up and down, like you mentioned. I think, the coaching staff here has done a good job of just keeping everybody confident in the group. I think, even today, Coach Tim mentioned that, like we didn't have a lot of guys in the ice just because, there's some guys up, but you just got to be confident in the group and have that mindset that you're going to win every night. And, I think that that belief is instilled in the group, no matter who's dressing or who's playing.
All right, Adam. So I think that'll kind of do it for the hockey portion. Let's get into you as a person now and kind of some stuff like that. We like to do a little bit of fun stuff. So pregame rituals. Every hockey player has them. I'm sure you know it. What are some of yours?
I don't know. I don't have like any crazy ones. I don't think. I just like to keep things kind of like the same. Like I like to do the same stuff, tape my stick the same way, or do things at the same time. But I don't do anything too out of the ordinary, I don't think.
You don't have like a pregame meal that you go to every time you go on the ice, do you?
No, it's hard just because on the road you don't eat the same as you might at home. But it's usually just chicken and rice and some vegetables. That's usually how it goes.
Lovely.
Obviously, a lot of hockey equipment that you go through and have gone through in your hockey career. Do you have any particular brand that's your favorite? Where are you at with hockey equipment?
Ooh, it's a good question. I think as you move through different levels, you have to use certain brands. I think it's so diverse now, and the companies are so good at kind of adapting to your needs that it honestly doesn't really matter what you're using. They take care of you no matter what. So like I said, I've been fortunate here, and playing back home in Spokane, they take care of you pretty good.
Just got to keep those sticks close, unless you're Derek Barabo, and then in that case, you might have to give him your stick.
Yeah, seriously, that was pretty nuts the other night when he didn't have a stick for 5 minutes or so.
Unreal.
So I have the pleasure of having some friends in professional hockey and stuff, and I worked for a hockey retailer for a lot of my younger life growing up. Just essentially equipment manager type of role in that store. And so I knew there's so much that goes into curves and flexes and all that. And, whether you get a 1/2 inch sharpening on your skates or 3/4 or anything like that. And it was hilarious at the fact at how blind they were. They're like, yeah, I just use whatever the equipment manager gives me. I'm really not too picky about it. Is that true with a lot of the pro guys? Because I know, it's either like they don't care or they absolutely care.
Yeah, I think it's like you said, it's either or. There's not really too much down the middle. Some guys they're pretty plain. Myself with my sticks, I'm pretty picky on what I use. I'm not super particular with my skate sharpenings or stuff. I don't do it too crazy, but there are some people that are. They know everything about the way their hollow is and stuff. I'm pretty picky with my sticks. I like my sticks to feel like a certain way, so that's kind of how I am. But I think, like you said, some guys don't care at all. Like they're happy with anything.
Are you part of the new generation of players that have learned to shoot with your toe?
I don't know. It's a good question. I think I shoot differently every time I shoot the puck. Sometimes I think that's something that I've kind of tried to learn, is to be able to shoot in different ways of different feet. No, I don't think that I've kind of came on that wave.
Cool. Yeah, it's all you, Seth.
Outside of hockey, where can people find you? What sorts of things do you like to do when you're not, training for the season or competing during the regular season?
Yeah, that's a good question, because so much of your time surrounds it. But I like to be at the lake. I think back home, being at the lake is something that I like to do on the weekends. Obviously, the week gets pretty busy just with skating and training, like you said. But go up to the lake, maybe it's fishing or wake surfing or something like that.
Cool. So, I'm sure you know nothing about us, but we're big music guys here. Love music at Mini Ice. We've got to know what's in your rotation right now. It could be a song, some artists, albums. What do you go to?
I'm funny. I listen to the same song over and over again until I can't listen to it again. My favorite song is Springsteen. I think
Oh,
I don't know why. It's just my favorite song. No matter how many times I played, I still love it. I'm not. It's weird. I like all kinds of music. Like I like EDM. I like rap. I mean, I love country. I think country is probably the biggest genre I like. But before games, I think it's more EDM and rap.
Awesome. So you're a bit of a country boy then, fishing.
Yeah,
and
I am. I like country music.
Cool.
Down deep.
respect. So just to kind of finish things off, and again, we appreciate the time immensely here today. We've got 11 questions, just some rapid fire stuff, just like your jersey. So we're just gonna dive in and feel free to answer as short or as lengthy as you would like.
Okay.
First one, steak or chicken? I think you kind of answered it already.
Steak.
Oh, okay.
It's not before game,
like
but steak for sure. Yeah.
We got white tape or black tape?
White tape. I use white on the whole stick.
Movies or TV shows?
Ooh. I don't game or anything. Like TV is kind of like my guilty pleasure. I think I like TV shows. I like movies. I like classic movies. I watch a ton of movies and TV shows, so I don't think I could pick between.
You'll take both in that case.
Yeah.
Okay.
Do you got tea or coffee?
Neither, but coffee.
Okay.
If I was to have to.
Lake or ocean?
Oof. Probably lake, I think, just because where I grew up, there's no oceans nearby, so lakes.
Same. Early riser or night owl?
Night owl, I think. I don't like going to bed too early.
Same. Next up, do you go for style or comfort when you're picking out a wardrobe?
Style for sure. Yeah, 100% style.
Naturally. We already kind of answered this one, but country or city life?
Right in the middle, I think.
Okay.
I'm not too much of a country boy, but I don't know if I'm necessarily a city boy either.
Slippers or sandals?
Flip-flops. I don't know. That's kind of different. I guess some people call them sandals. I'd probably just say flip-flops.
Do you like
Slides.
the ones that go in between the toes?
No, like slides. I don't know.
Gotcha,
Gotcha. They just have like a little band.
Naturally.
Good
I don't know if you have one because you alluded to that you don't game, but Xbox or PlayStation?
I have a PlayStation. I just don't use it too much, but I do have a PlayStation.
All right. And the last one, Marvel or DC?
I've never been into like either, but probably Marvel just because the comic books.
Follow up to that one, spin-off. It's not a new question. What sort of genre then, or genre, I guess? What do you go for if you're sitting down to watch a movie to bring in the weekend? What are you picking?
Yeah, I think it depends. If I'm alone, I'm probably just watching a comedy. But if I am with some people, probably like a thriller or something, maybe a little bit more scary, but not too scary.
Yeah, not too scary for sure.
Feel that. Well, that wraps up everything that we have for you here today, Adam, unless you want to add anything else. But that's perfect here for us at Mini Ice. So thank you so much for joining us, and we appreciate your time.
Thank you for having me. Thanks, boys.